All right. All right. Hello out there. How is everybody doing today? Go ahead. If you're on this live, if you can just kind of go ahead and comment in the chat so that I know you can hear me. I'm not going to keep you guys long on this video, but I wanted to just kind of go over some things so that I can make sure that you're super prepared to file your taxes this tax season. If you see me looking up, of course, I am going live on Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube, all at the same time. So it may look like I'm looking at different screens, but just know that I'm always talking to you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tiffany Murphy. I am the CEO of Tax Master Plus, aka the Big Truck Tax Queen. I specialize in individual and small business tax returns. We work with clients throughout the 48 continental US states. And I like to come on here every so often and give you different tips, different things that will help you throughout the tax season. Okay. So this video will be short and to the point. But before I get started with the information, I always like to make sure that you hear me. So for those of you who are tuning in live on my Facebook page as well as my Instagram, if you could just type in the comments a one so that I know you can hear me, and then we can go ahead and get started. So if you can hear me, just go ahead and press one in the comments so that we can go ahead and get this video started. Okay. I also encourage you to share this live. Share it. It's always good to share pertinent information with others. I haven't seen any ones in the comment yet, so I'm wondering if you guys can hear me. So, again, if you can hear me, go ahead and press one. If you can hear me, go ahead and press one. I haven't seen any ones in the comment. Usually, you guys chime in quite quickly. So, if I don't see any ones in the comment, I'm going to have to end this live video. So, please let me know that you can hear me by pressing one. If not, I'm going to have to go ahead and end this video. All right. Thank you, Tarita. Thank you. Okay, good. So I know everybody hears me. All right. So let's go ahead and just kind of go over really quickly what you're going to need to file your taxes this tax season. So, as you guys know, this tax season is going to be the craziest tax season that we have ever had. Like, we have so many different things that are going on. So many. Thank you for those of you tuning in on my Instagram. Thank you. We have so many different things going on this tax season. And I want to make sure that you're prepared, okay? We don't want your tax refund to be held up for months on end. So, to make sure that that doesn't happen, you want to make sure you have everything you possibly need in order, and you want to make sure that you're gathering all of the information now so that you don't have to worry about it later. So here's what you're going to need, okay? So first of all, those of you who do file with Taxmaster Plus, I've had a couple people call me about that today. Yes, we are going to be offering the refund advance loans of up to $6,000. Those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a loan that you're given, and the loan amount that you're given is deducted from your actual tax refund once you get your refund. So, for example, let's say that your refund is $8,000 and you say, okay, Tiffany, I'd like to apply for a refund advance loan of $2,000. Well, then you'd receive the $2,000 the same day that you file if you're approved, and then you'd receive the remaining 6,000 when you get your tax refund. So we will be offering refund advance loans of up to $6,000 again this year. Okay, so that's something you guys been asking about. Now here's the deal. Okay, so you're gonna need to make sure you have your W-2s, of course. You're going to want to make sure you have your 1099s if you're self employed or independent contractor, your 1099Rs if you took some money out of your retirement account, IRAs, or any of things of that nature. You're going to want to make sure that you have those forms that are given to you by your job. So I'm going to stress this. If you know that you took some money out of your retirement account, and let's just say you get your W 2 early, but you still haven't received those letters, you do not want to file until you have received everything because, again, the IRS is doing so many checks and balances, and you don't want to have your impatience cause you to have a delay on your tax refund. So make sure that you've received all of those forms. So most forms have to be mailed out by January 31st. But that doesn't mean that you're going to have it in your hand by January 31st. Also, keep in mind that the mail goes extremely slow. Things that may have used to take only 4 or 5 days can take 2 weeks sometimes. So keep in mind that if an employer mails you the form on January 31st, it could be 2 weeks later, mid February or first week of February before you receive that document. So just keep that in mind. Also, those of you who have received or deal with cryptocurrency, you guys know I've been to a couple of tax conferences and conventions this year, and that's one of the things that they're looking at a lot more closely now. So if you're someone who has dealt with cryptocurrency, you're going to be receiving a form, and that form is going to tell when you acquired that currency and when you sold that currency. Or when you traded that currency. So you're going to want to have to keep up with all of those things as well. Okay. Now, if you have dependents, pretty much if you're used to claiming dependents, the same rules apply except for one thing. I'll tell you what that is in a second. But of course, if you're claiming dependents, you have to prove that that child is related to you and also that the child lives with you. So you're going to need to provide the child's social security number, social security card and birth certificate. The reason you're providing that birth certificate is to prove that it's actually your child. So if you're the mother, then your name should be on that birth certificate, right? Now, if you're grandma, you may have to provide your child's birth certificate and your grandchild's birth certificate. So you'd want to have your child's birth certificate because your name, Grandma Sue, should be on your child's birth certificate. Then you'd want to have your grandchild's birth certificate because your daughter, Vanessa, her name should be on there and your name on her birth certificate. So whatever birth certificates you have to have in place to prove that you're related to that child, you're going to have to prove relationship. And the other thing you have to prove is residency. You have to prove that that child lived with you. So the way you can prove that is whether your child may be receiving Medicaid or food stamps. Maybe you have something from the Social Security office. Maybe you have school records, doctor records, something that shows that, or your lease, a lease. A lease will often have your name as well as your children's name on that lease. So you want to have something that shows your children's name and addresses or your children's addresses match up with your address. Okay. So you're going to want to have that. And please don't send those shot records. A lot of people are like, well, can I just send my shot records? No, because an immunization record only shows the date that your child received shots. It does not have an address on there. It doesn't prove that that child lived with you. So do not send shot records, okay? So you're going to want to send either a school record, something from the doctor, something, a lease, anything that can prove that your child has your same address. Yes, we can, Garrett Cole, absolutely. um, This is the big thing that you guys are going to want to have. It is called Form 6419. Write that down. Form 6419. If you haven't heard of Form 6419, basically Form 6419 basically just tells how much money you received in child tax credit payments. You're gonna have to have this letter because when we file your tax return, we have to put how much you received. So if we put an incorrect amount based on what you're saying from memory, for example, you guys know you were supposed to receive either $250 a month or $300 a month per child, depending on the age of your child. Under 6 was $300 a month. Over 6 or 6 and older was $250 a month for 6 months. So if you haven't been keeping up with we don't want you to have to keep up with what the amounts were. We don't want you to guesstimate what the amounts were. So that Form 6419 is going to say we paid $1,500 to Tiffany Murphy for the child tax credit for one dependent, or we paid $3,000 or $4,500 or whatever the amount is. Okay, it is extremely imperative that you keep up with that letter because you're going to need it to file your taxes. Now, if you have moved or you don't have that letter, you can log into your portal. If you've never logged into the child tax credit portal, I encourage you to go ahead and do that today and try to go ahead and gain access to that portal, because that way, if you don't receive the letter, then you're able to access the portal and you're able to gain the information that would have been sent out on that form. So you want to make sure you do that. Okay, 8 kids under 6, 2,400 a month. That's right. That's right, Garrett Cole. And 3 on the way. So yeah, guys, you want to make sure you have Form 6419 so you can keep up with the amount that you were paid for that child tax credit. And also, you want to have this in advance as well. And I need you to hear this clearly. No, you cannot bring your last pay stubs. Absolutely not. It has to be your W-2s, because there are information on W-2s that are not on check stubs. If you're going to a tax preparer that allows you to use check stub, you might want to run and find you another tax preparer, because you are not allowed to file taxes using a check stub. So no, 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 no. Another thing, you guys, in regards to that child tax credit, if you didn't check my video that I did the other day on the child tax credit, go back and check it out. You can also follow me on YouTube. If you haven't already, please follow my YouTube. You can go back and look on my YouTube channel for that video as well on the child tax credit. But you're going to want to make an arrangement with your child's mother or father. If you're not with your child's mother or father, you're going to want to make an arrangement with each other, because whoever claimed that child last year, my professional opinion is that you need to let that same person claim the child again this year. Because what's going to happen is, if that parent, let's just say dad claimed the child last year, and then this year the mom claims the child. Well, dad would have been receiving those child tax credit payments for the past 6 months, right? So dad's been receiving his $250 or either $300 a month for the past 6 months. And now mom goes to file her taxes and she claims the child as a dependent. So she's expecting to get the full $3,000 or the full $3,600 in child tax credit. Well, what's going to happen is dad's going to have to pay that money back because mom is now claiming the child. And mom's refund is going to be held for probably 6 months or more, because the balances are not matching. Because when mom told us she's claiming a dependent, and when we asked, well, do you have Form 6419? She's going to say, oh, no, I didn't get that form because I didn't claim this dependent last year. I never got child tax credit. So we're going to input it as though she did not receive it. But what mom didn't tell us was that their dad claimed the child last year. So that's going to mess a lot of people up. So if you hear nothing else I say this year, one of the things you're going to need in preparation for tax season is to work out an agreement with your child's mother or father so that you can make sure that you guys are on the same page as it relates to claiming your dependents. Self-employed. If you're self-employed, I'm going to just make it real simple. You need to have proof of income and proof of expenses, whether that be QuickBooks, whether that be receipts, whether that be bank statements. We can go into more detail about that once it's actually time for you to file your taxes if you are a small business owner. But you need to be able to keep up with any income and any expenses. I just hired 2 accountants for my firm. So we are now offering bookkeeping services. So if you are a business owner and you do not have bookkeeping, and you know that you do not have time to keep up with that. You don't have time to figure out your profit and loss statement, your cash flow statement, your balance sheet. You don't even know how to create a chart of accounts. You don't know how to categorize your expenses properly. If you don't feel like dealing with the headache of all of that, then just let me know. And again, we do have staff that will be doing the bookkeeping for you as well. So that is something you have been asking for a while, and we are able to offer that service. So I do have 2 accountants on staff, one CPA, one is a CPA. So we can definitely get that done for you. So just know that if you are self-employed, whatever income and whatever expenses you write down, I always tell my clients, if you were ever audited, you're gonna have to prove those expenses and that income. So make sure that you're keeping up with your record keeping and your bookkeeping so you can make sure that everything is on point. Okay. And the last thing that I wanted to tell you guys, those of you who are a current client of TaxMaster Plus, we're going to be having a Christmas Cash App giveaway. Stay by your phones, stay by your emails. We're going to be having a Christmas Cash App giveaway. So I'll be giving out more information on that in the coming days. Okay. But before I go, if you guys have any topics you want me to discuss, I told you this was going to be a quick video. So if you have any topics you want me to discuss, just drop them in the comments. And when I'm getting my information together for live, I'll know what you want to hear about. That was why I did that child tax credit, because a lot of people were asking me about it. Another one I'm definitely going to be doing this week is the one about the child care credit. The $8,000 child tax credit is a lot. Not child tax credit, the $8,000 child care credit that a lot of you have been calling it and a lot of you have been asking me about. So I will be doing a video on that soon, okay? But I'm getting a little sleepy, so I wanted to just go straight to the point tonight. But if you have any other things you want to see and want me to discuss, just drop them in the comments and we'll discuss them at that time, okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.